Good morning, friends. In an attempt to do something to cheer myself up and to share something positive with the world, I've decided to take a leaf out of my friend Mooflower's book on Instagram and do a little tour of my garden, which is very much a work in progress, as you can see from the summer house, which has got the workmates still up in it. Johnny's in the process of cladding and insulating that. I think he's about 2/3 of the way through that process. So after that we're going to be decorating it, laying the floor, which is going to be a laminate floor, and then acquiring some furniture for it. So my garden's very much a work in progress, and it's got some things which I've planted and a lot of things which were here before. The house was owned by an old lady who was on her own before we moved here, and I think a lot of it had got very overgrown and very taken over by quite invasive plants. But one of the first things I planted was this sambucus bush, which was tiny when I got it, perhaps not even a foot high. And in the 4 years since it's been planted, it's really come on. You can see it's got all these beautiful lace cap type flowers on it. So that's one of the things. It should get, at least twice the size that it is now by the time I've finished. This patio here is where the last of the afternoon evening sun comes through, and we're hoping to get some nice outdoor furniture, table and chairs, quite small really, because we don't want to overtake the patio and end up sort of like taking away from the impact of the summer house. But yeah, that's where we'll hopefully have lots of nice evening meals over the summer. So there are various plants that were in the garden which had become really overgrown and sort of taken it over, which I'm slowly working my way through thinning down. And one of them is this beautiful pink geranium, which is really pretty, but it was in massive swathes when we first moved in here, so I'm trying to contain it and thin it down. Here you can see my battle is ongoing with the brambles. Got a lot of these throughout the garden, and I'm hoping that over the next couple of years I'll probably eradicate that completely. Crocosmia was another thing. Hello, you alright? I'm just making a video. Instagram. Crocosmia was another thing which had really taken root in the garden, and I'm trying to keep that, but keep it under control. And this aquilegia as well. I can see even more brambles, which doesn't seem to matter how much I dig them up, they keep on coming back. But that's okay, we'll get there eventually. This is a beautiful plum tree, which, look, you can see is absolutely laden this year. I think this year's meant to be a really good year for soft fruit trees. Well, fruit trees, full stop, I think. But again, it had been left to go to its own devices, and it's really bendy, look. And it's going all in the wrong direction. So come this autumn, I plan to prune this back, stake it up so that it's not falling over the rest of the garden. It's sort of overtaken this pyrrhus back here, which you can see it's sort of growing right through the middle of. I actually don't like pyrrhuses. Pyrrhi, I don't know what the plural of that is, but Johnny likes it, so at the moment that's staying. Under here is, if you can see, a dicentra which I put in a couple of years ago. It's not that happy here. I'm probably going to end up moving it. And also some Japanese anemones, which are just starting to come into bud, and I absolutely adore these. This fern was here when we moved in, and again, not one of my favourites, but Johnny likes it, and it does provide a nice backdrop for other plants, so that's staying for now. This is the other type of geranium, which there was lots of in the garden, and I'm trying to contain. And I love the colour of these flowers. It's actually looking more purpley, but in real life it's much more blue. And look, Mr. Humble Bumble likes it too. Now that there is an extremely invasive weed, which this bed was completely choked up with at the back, and I've been working slowly over the last few years on sort of reducing that. Obviously I've not completely got that yet, but look, more plums, look at them all. This is a big red robin, which there were two of in this bed, and I've removed one. Sorry, the light's behind it so you can't probably see it that well, but yeah, the plan is to thin this down and get it to create more of a tree form so that there's a lighter canopy underneath it, and again that's a work in progress. And this gorgeous Acer was here as well, and that's just finished flowering. You can see here are all the little seed heads, which are gorgeous, a bit like little miniature sycamore seeds. And 2 years ago now, my sisters and my mum and dad all clubbed together and bought Johnny a rowan tree for his birthday, because this is one of his favourites. You can see it's in flower at the moment. Now Johnny's worried about how enveloped this is by the Acer at the moment, but I've told him it's not a problem, because in a couple of years' time it will have outgrown the Acer completely. Back there is a buddleia which is badly in need of a good chop back, and I missed my opportunity to do that this spring, but I'm just going to have a good hack at it anyway, just because nothing kills them, nothing at all. So then we've got Cotoneaster horizontalis, which was also here, which I love. Absolutely adore the berries on that later in the year, and the way that the cobwebs collect in that and get all dewy and jewelled. So then this is an area which is a complete and utter state to the right of this bit, and it's got the shed on it and the water butt which gathers water from the bottom of the garage, but it's a real dumping ground at the moment. We're getting a skip in a couple of months' time for various reasons, and a lot of this is going to go in there, and we're hoping to reduce this because it's just a massive platform which is eating up the garden, and we're not using it for anything constructive. So this path takes us up the side of the garage, and there was nothing in this little bed up the side of the garage when I got here. So far I have planted a pyracantha, and it's an orange berry pyracantha, I think. And we're going to be putting some hooks and wires in here so that we can train it up this wall. This is a fuchsia which has just started to come into flower. You can see down here a hardy fuchsia which I love, and this is actually Ivy's plant, and that's coming on really well. And then this, which is the climbing form of hydrangea, can't remember what its proper name is. That's just been here all the time we have, and there's also a white flowering rose that you can't really see. Oh, you can see it a little bit just up there, which is beautiful, and those were already in the garden. So then we have another little patio here which has got the utility IKEA bag which I always use for laundry, which I think probably nearly everyone in Britain does now, and a patio up there which leads up to the leads up to the patio and the extension that we've just done. I've done quite a bit of work in this one. This is a self-set plum tree, but we're thinking of leaving this here. More crocosmia, which you wouldn't believe how much I've thinned this out already. And at the front here I've got an astilbe and a big penstemon which is covered in buds, which is great because it's just starting to open up. I think this is called sour grapes, this penstemon. So yes, that's coming on really well. I've worked quite a bit on this area, even though you wouldn't really believe it. And there's another rose, a red rose, which I'm absolutely in love with. Now, this is a clematis which has been here since we moved in. It got hacked really badly back when this new fence has been put back in by the neighbours. This fence here is very attractive, isn't it? Not. Anyway, this is regaining its strength and starting to build up, which is good. And there's also a honeysuckle back there which got damaged. This is my lovely bird table which my children and husband bought me for my birthday the other year. That at the back there is one of the Pyracantha lucifers, which I love, and another penstemon, and I can't remember what that one's called. And this area is a bit of a troublesome area because of this great big conifer, which I hate, but it gives us really good privacy from the neighbours. So we're trying to put up with it, and I'm trying to develop this bed into a good shade bed and find plants that will cope with it okay here. So I've just cleared this area, as you can tell, unlike that area, which is totally overgrown and needs the same treatment. Now I've got a heuchera here, like a bronzy purple one, which is one of my favourite plants. I adore heucheras. And that seems to be doing okay since it's been, this was in already, but it's been completely choked, and it's got lots of new growth on it since I planted it there. And then this is a really lovely salvia with pink flowers on it, which I bought last year, and it had nearly died off in its pot, but I gave it a really good soak in, and it's really perked up since it's been in here. And I think sages can cope with it really dry, so I'm hoping that it will be okay here. And this is a little potentilla, which again was already in here at the front of the bed, but had been completely choked up, and you can see it got some dying of foliage on here. But look at all this new growth. This has all happened while I've been away for a week, and that has beautiful red flowers which remind me of strawberries. And then this is another Japanese anemone which I've put in here, and I'm hoping, because this is quite a prolific grower and it seems to cope with shade over on the other side of the garden, so I'm hoping that this is going to suit it here. And then this is a forsythia which we had actually bought from my late grandmother-in-law, and it was in a pot, and I planted that here, and it's been doing really well. I'm hoping next springtime we'll get lots of flower on it. And then as I come down here, we've got, this is a shrub which is horribly invasive, and that needs digging out with the mattock. There are lots of self-set trees and plants which are in the wrong place, like this lovely rose which can't really cope with it here at the front of the bed, which needs to be moved. Lots of self-set saplings, lots of horrible brambles, a camellia which is beautiful and flowers really well every year, but again totally the wrong place in the bed, so that needs moving after its growing period has finished this autumn. And then this is, I think it's an ornamental cherry with a beautiful red foliage. And then this, I can't remember what this tree is actually. As you can see, this is what the whole garden was like when we first moved in, so it's slow progress. Tons of self-set trees. Got some more Japanese anemone, loads of this weed, which is sort of like a Geum type thing, I think. Really invasive again. A massive hebe, which I can't stand, but Johnny likes, so we're keeping that. And a really massive apple tree, look, which needs bringing into control, and we will do this autumn. Needs a top taking out and encouraging side growth, which is what we're going to do. Then down here is a mahonia and a golden rocket. Oi, don't hit me. And this mahonia, it's in a bit of an awkward place, but I want to keep it, apart from anything else. I love the flowers on it. So I'm being whipped by a small boy. And it's also a really good place for blackbirds to nest, so I want to encourage that. And then hidden down in this corner is the trampoline, and it's standing currently on a massive pile of topsoil, so it should be a couple of foot lower by the time we're finished. Small boy in the shot. And here we're hoping to build a small raised bed, again, which is going to have shade and dry loving flowers, hopefully lots of alpines, because I love alpine beds. So that's the garden. I'll perhaps show some more shots of it when there's a bit more flower going on. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.